My name is Victoria Reed, and I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about my career choice, which is medical assisting. A lot of people, I don't think, really understand or know what this field is, so I just kind of want, try to explain a little bit about it to try to maybe clear up or, make you understand a little bit better about what it is that we actually do. A medical assistant is someone who works under a physician. We get our duties and our responsibilities and what we're supposed to do throughout the day from our physician. We are, the eyes and the ears for them. We make their job easier as far as, trying to figure out like a base on what is wrong with the patient. So when the time that they come to go in the room to see the patient, it makes it a little bit easier for them to understand, why they're there and what's wrong and, how they can fix it. Usually medical assistants will work in an office setting, a physician's office, and it can vary a lot with where you can work, which I think that's one of the plus things for this field and why, I chose it. You can work anywhere from pediatrics if you love, working with kids. You can work in a cardiology office. You can work in surgery center, family medicine. There's just a lot of different avenues that you can take with this job, and I think that's a really, really good thing. So you can get experience in all kinds of places. The biggest duties in the office of a medical assistant, which we do everything, you work as a team. That's probably the most important thing with this career is learning teamwork, and it's a very big asset to have. You can't really do this job and have a successful office without teamwork. So that's very important. And two of the things that medical assistants do inside the office, there is administrative side and there is clinical side. And I will talk about administrative first. That is basically, the more paperwork side of it. That's doing, scheduling patient appointments. That is, keying in patient chart information, updating addresses in the computer, taking co-pays at the front desk whenever a patient walks in, for their insurance. And it's basically just doing all of the information part of it. And then you have the clinical side, which is what I want to really do because I find I like to talk to people and I like to help people, and I feel like that's the closest you get in the office with that. So in the clinical side, you do more of hands-on with the patient and get to really interact with the patient and, get to figure out what's wrong with the patient. In the clinical side, you do vitals and you do weight, but the important part of clinical and being a successful medical assistant is, just seeing red flags from the very beginning. And an example of that could be, you call a patient back and they have a stagger or they're limping, something's wrong. That first eye contact of the patient is key in letting you know if anything's wrong, because that right there would give it away and tell you, hey, there's something wrong here. So that's a first, assessment. And then you send your patient back, and normally you would do weight, blood pressure, and sometimes you can go straight back to the exam room. And then sometimes offices will have separate areas where you can just do just like weight, blood pressure, and that's fine. It's either way, and it really depends on the office you're at. Every office is completely different throughout the whole entire thing. And then you would either, talk to your patient or walk your patient back to the room and do your assessment. And then after you do all of your vitals, you would then start, communicating with your patient, trying to figure out what exactly is wrong. You would get, where, they have any illnesses, allergies, any updated medications. You just get, pretty much update their whole chart while they're there and just make sure nothing has changed. Everything's the same. And then you would get down to why they're there. And an important key part of that is asking open-ended questions. And open-ended questions means questions that would get that patient to talk and give you information, not just a yes or no question. because that would make it hard to, try to figure out exactly what's wrong with your patient. And then after you get everything that you need, that you feel is successful for the doctor to come in and do his job and make it easier for them, then, you would thank the patient and, let them know that the doctor would be there, and if they need anything, to let you know. And, just cater to the patient, make them feel comfortable. I think that's very, very important in the job, because I think everybody, looks at a doctor and will sometimes get nervous anyways, just the thought of it. So just making them feel at home and just making them feel comfortable. And you being the one that gets the most information, because a lot of people will not open up to a doctor. They're intimidated by a doctor and they won't do that. So you being that person for them is very, very important. Education for medical assisting, a lot of times it takes 1 to 2 years. The program that I'm in is the 2-year associate degree for medical assisting. And, it can depend on, how, your availability, how much time you have. Do you have kids? Because a lot of people have crazy lifestyles or life, and they have kids. It just makes it really hard to go to school sometimes if you've already went through that and you're working a job. It really depends on the person, how much time they have, and, either way you can do it. The job outlook for medical assistants right now is very, very high. It's very, very needed. Medical assistants are. A lot of the girls that graduated in my program last year at my school, they had jobs before they ever graduated. So it's very needed, and having a good impression just makes it that much better for your opportunity to get a job. So that is a little bit about medical assisting. It's a great opportunity if you're fresh out of high school and you don't know what you want to do. The healthcare field in general is a great way to go. You're always going to need your healthcare employees. And right now, the medical assisting field is very, very needed. It's very high demand for jobs. So it's not just, you're going to go to school and spend all this money and do all this work and hard work and get out and not be able to find a job. Like a lot of different occupations are like that. So this is very, very good for someone wanting to make sure that they have employment after, it's a really good thing. And all in all, I'm excited for this career. I have 1 more year, and I'm excited to start working and actually, put my skills to use. And I do appreciate you watching my speech, and I hope it did help you with maybe getting a better idea of what we do, and hope it's something you might be interested in. Thanks.